Jackie Christie, the unforgettable star of Basketball Wives, has always been the definition of drama, glitz, and unapologetic boldness. But this time, her name is plastered all over the headlines for something far darker and more serious than we've ever imagined. A potential 10-year prison sentence, a jaw-dropping $300 million court ruling. The shocking truth is finally coming to light, and it's not the reality TV glam we've come to expect. In this exclusive deep dive, we're peeling back the layers of Jackie's life to reveal a story filled with criminal charges, financial chaos, and secrets that no one saw coming. You think you know her, those wild feuds, those dramatic moments on Basketball Wives, but this is a whole new level of danger. How did Jackie go from TV royalty to being tangled in a web of lawsuits and criminal allegations? What financial trail led to the shocking $300 million ruling that could change everything for her and her family? And what is the real story behind the headlines the media isn't telling you? Buckle up, because we're about to break down everything you need to know behind closed doors, in the courtrooms, and within the shady deals that could destroy her public empire. Stay tuned, because this is a journey into the unknown. And trust us, you won't want to miss what comes next. Leaked documents and public records claim that the development offered green construction certifications, significant returns, and the empowerment of minority-owned businesses. Everything that socially minded investors found appealing. Here's the catch, though. The project never materialized. Federal investigators said behind the scenes that the entire endeavor was a Ponzi scheme, one intended to draw well-known investors, embezzle money, and fail before any significant progress was made. Whether she realized it or not, Jackie was instrumental in spreading the word about the plan to her social media followers and celebrity connections. Rumors started to circulate in financial circles around the end of 2023. Some early investors asserted that they had not yet received any returns or even definitive proof of the allocation of their funds. The name of Jackie kept coming up. The lawsuits followed. Jackie and 4 other stakeholders were accused of fraud, deception, and conspiracy to mislead investors in the first significant civil complaint, which was filed in January 2024. The plaintiffs, who included 2 tech entrepreneurs, retired athletes, and small business owners, all asserted that they had lost millions of dollars. And just when Jackie's group believed they could reach a peaceful settlement, the federal government suddenly intervened, citing possible RICO Act, money laundering, and wire fraud offenses. The Department of Justice opened a formal criminal investigation. The charge's magnitude was enormous. The sum of money involved was more than $300 million. Money that allegedly went through private consultancy firms connected to the project, offshore accounts, and shell corporations. This is when it becomes even more bizarre. According to court filings, Jackie allegedly approved many wire transactions, organized investor-deceiving advertising events, and even accepted significant consulting fees that were funded by investor monies. Was she a pawn or a mastermind? The civil litigation has grown into one of the most talked about legal dramas in the finance and entertainment media by the middle of 2024. However, what followed was what really stepped up the heat. A decision from a federal court that stunned everyone, even Jackie Christie. The judge presiding over the lawsuit rendered a crushing ruling following months of sealed hearings, document dumps, and professional financial analysis. Repayment of $300 million to the deceived investors was a joint liability of Jackie and her friends. Yes, $300 million, which makes it one of the biggest celebrity fraud-related judgments in recent history. People were gasping for more than just the quantity, though. It was the proof that was shown in court. Among the most devastating were the purported email transcripts that purportedly showed Jackie speaking with financial handlers and developers, not just admitting the investment's instability, but also planning how to keep pushing it in public. Jackie allegedly wrote, "Let's stay positive on socials," in one exchange that was released. Before the quarter ends, we can still attract well-known names. The project's finances had already begun to falter when that email was sent. It didn't end there either. Even though the company's money accounts were almost empty, witnesses in court stated that Jackie attended upscale events in Malibu and Turks and Chaos to celebrate expansion, as well as special investor retreats. These incidents, according to the prosecution, were a cover-up strategy to preserve trust while money was surreptitiously transferred to offshore accounts. Jackie's personal LLC, which had no formal connections to the development company, was personally responsible for at least $2.1 million. According to forensic accountants, money purportedly used to finance lavish vacations that were later shown on her Instagram, as well as to buy jewelry and expensive cars. Perhaps the most startling discovery, however, was surveillance footage of Jackie presenting phony projections on a PowerPoint during a closed-door investor session. A month prior to the incident, projections were made by a non-existent shell marketing business. Just weeks before to the presentation, Jackie co-founded the firm under a false identity, as was disclosed in court. Her defense team attempted to portray it as a failed celebrity endorsement, asserting that Jackie was only a project spokesperson and never had any involvement with the financial side. However, the emails, signatures, and paper trail gave a different picture. Jackie's role was more than just promotional. The court said in his ruling, calling the plot a purposeful, dishonest exploitation of public trust for private gain. It played a crucial role. However, what does this legally mean? The federal indictment was dropped shortly after the civil court's landmark decision, which opened the door for criminal prosecution. Jackie Christie has now been formally charged with several felonies, including money laundering, financial deception, conspiracy to conduct fraud, and wire fraud. She could spend up to 10 years in federal prison if found guilty. Here's the twist though. According to insiders, Jackie may not be going down alone and is prepared to implicate others in order to have her sentence shortened. Yes, you heard correctly. Jackie might reveal anything to make a bargain, and a number of other influencers and celebrities might have also benefited from this swindle. And we're dissecting the explosive speculations about who those names could be and why the business is scared in the next part. Jackie Christie was already the center of a huge legal storm. However, the entertainment business held its breath when rumors started to circulate that she could begin to cooperate with investigators. Why? Jackie was more than simply a reality TV personality. She was linked to a network of influencers, former athletes, and celebrities who might have been involved in the same plot. Investigators believe that at least 5 other prominent people, including 2 former NBA players and a Grammy-nominated artist, may have knowingly participated in the fraudulent investment ring and the thread that connects them all. Jackie Christie, according to a sealed memo that was leaked by an anonymous source within the DOJ, Jackie has amassed a vast empire of influence throughout the years. She has a long history of marriage to Doug Christie, as well as off-screen business endeavors and a celebrity circle. She has also spoken on financial panels, partnered with beauty products, and attended events with business moguls. However, there may be a darker aspect of celebrity capitalism concealed beneath those uplifting Instagram messages and opulent photo shoots. The first name mentioned in court chit-chat is that of Doug Christie's former teammate, who is well known for his ostentatious investments and lifestyle brand. According to sources, this former athlete served as a silent ambassador by urging young business owners to participate in Jackie's idea by sending them tailored direct messages and emails that promised them access to generational wealth. If confirmed, the partnership might spell legal disaster for their media brand. Another unexpected connection is a well-known reality TV mogul who allegedly employed their production company to develop promotional material for the bogus real estate endeavor. This is where it becomes even more juicy. Investigators think that encrypted communication applications were used to orchestrate transactions, hush money, and media manipulation to manipulate the narrative, as evidenced by Jackie's phone and email records that were subpoenaed in early 2025. After the litigation start, a folder purportedly identified as VIP partners that was discovered during a forensic examination of Jackie's work laptop is at the center of this possible house of cards. The identities of celebrity promoters, percentages promised in private off-book arrangements, private influencer agreements with non-disclosure restrictions, and even a list of media allies used to hide negative publicity are all reportedly included in this dossier. In an interview, a former buddy who wished to remain nameless stated, "Jackie was the plug, not just the face. Because she made it appear genuine, people had faith in her. She instructed everyone to keep quiet and let her deal with it when the walls began to close in. She could now spend decades behind bars." Nevertheless, federal prosecutors also claim that she has one final card to play: leniency in return for cooperation. According to reports, her attorneys have started preliminary talks about a plea deal, one in which Jackie would have to turn over communications and papers and possibly testify against other well-known people. The entertainment industry's retaliation has already begun. Jackie is being unfollowed by those who used to call her a friend, attorneys are making public denials, and fans are unearthing old videos and posts that now appear dubious. Not to mention that nothing remains hidden forever in the world of digital receipts nowadays. Here's the real kicker though. Some people think that one of the largest celebrity fraud investigations since the Fyre Festival would begin if Jackie flips and reveals her inner group. Jackie Christie's meticulously built empire over decades started to fall apart from the inside out as the media frenzy erupted and court documents were made public. After aggressively defending her family and reputation as a matriarch on Basketball Wives, the woman now faces the prospect of witnessing all she created implode in real time. Even more tragic is the fact that her husband Doug Christie and her kids, whom she has always said she loves the most, are also suffering from the collateral harm. Former NBA player and current assistant coach, Doug Christie has long been respected for his devotion to Jackie. In the public spotlight, their relationship, often characterized as ride or die, has drawn praise and criticism. Doug was there for her through all the controversies, arguments, and reality TV battles. However, many close to the Christie family claim that their marriage is seriously strained as a result of this most recent controversy. An unidentified insider told a blog, "Doug is enraged. He has put a lot of effort into maintaining a clean career and leading a decent life outside of the NBA. But now Jackie's name is tarnishing his. The league is discussing financial audits. If his name appears in any of these documents, his coaching position may possibly be in jeopardy." Although Doug isn't mentioned in the lawsuit or the criminal charge, the closeness is enough to raise suspicions, particularly when joint accounts and assets are questioned, as they could now be seized by the authorities if they are linked to illegal cash. According to reports, their kids are also having difficulties. Shortly after the news emerged, Jackie's daughter Takari Lee, who has a very unusual and public connection with her mother, posted a mysterious comment on social media. When darkness is no longer able to conceal something, it finally comes to light. Speculation was rife as fans quickly saw that as a clear attack at Jackie. Takari has previously accused Jackie of favoritism and emotional neglect, accusations that made headlines years ago and caused a significant breach between them. Now that this criminal case is blowing up, the family conflict is back in the spotlight and those old wounds are being rekindled. Jackie's passing is a huge blow to the brand. Numerous endorsements from luxury wine firms to beauty brands have either ceased operations or severed their connections. Once replete with glitzy collaborations, carefully chosen ensembles, and sponsored content, her Instagram has largely gone black. Some people think she has already begun liquidating assets behind closed doors after she disabled comments on a number of posts. Then there's the performance. According to reports, Jackie's main platform, Basketball Wives, a mainstay of VH1 reality TV, has halted all of its productions, including her. Without Jackie's consent, there are rumors that producers are discussing removing her entirely from upcoming episodes, possibly even focusing on a spin-off special about the incident. The fall has been quick, well-publicized, and humiliating for someone who once proudly referred to herself as the queen of basketball spouses. But what she's lost isn't the only question at hand. It concerns what she is prepared to do in order to preserve what little she still has. Jackie is still fighting, according to insiders, not just in court but also behind closed doors with erstwhile allies, publicists, and producers. In an attempt to control the narrative, she is supposedly peddling a tell-all memoir and has started discussions with 2 podcast networks on a possible post-trial interview series. Will anyone, nevertheless, pay attention? Jackie Christie stands by herself as her reputation deteriorates, others around her disperse, and the industry becomes chilly, bearing the burden of legal devastation, public scrutiny, and personal betrayal. What remains of Jackie Christie after all of this? The litigation, the indictments, the treachery, and the collapse. Jackie always exuded power in business, family, and the media, from her early days on reality television to her heyday as a fierce, no-nonsense queen of basketball spouses. However, it's now evident that something darker was simmering beneath that formidable exterior, a risky concoction of ego, ambition, and perhaps deliberate dishonesty. Jackie is fighting for more than just her freedom, as she faces a $300 million court judgment and the prospect of up to 10 years in prison. She is defending her legacy, Will she go down in history as a wise businesswoman who lost out on a good transaction or as a key figure in one of the decade's largest celebrity investment scams? What we know is as follows. Prosecutors at the federal level are moving forward. More evidence will be reviewed by a grand jury. In addition to rumors of a media return through books, interviews, or even streaming films, Jackie's legal team is exploring a plea deal that may turn the tide on many more celebrities. Don't get me wrong, though. Even if she escapes jail, this scandal will always be associated with her name. The sponsors have left. The empire she created is now in ashes, and the ties within the family are strained. The last chapter is still unwritten. However, one thing is evident. Jackie Christie's life has never been the same. We will now hand it on to you. What are your thoughts? Was Jackie a pawn intended to draw in investors, or was she set up by others in the industry? Or did she know all along and want to ride the wave regardless of who was hurt? Leave a comment below with your opinions. I was reading all of it. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like this video, and share it with a friend who shares your passion for the drama. If you want more in-depth analyses, authentic celebrity investigations, and the unvarnished truth behind the headlines, because this is not the end of the narrative, you may be sure that we will be present when the next shocking revelation occurs.